Hi, welcome to learnhowtogarden.com. In today's episode we'll be sowing and discussing how to grow Pak Choy or Chinese cabbage. If you're not already subscribed to me at Learn How to Garden, there's a link just on my right now. Click on that, input your email address. It means you get the free monthly newsletter. You get told every time we put up a new film. It also lets you get access to all the written blog posts that I do in between filming. I'm here next to one of my 3 foot by 6 foot no dig raised beds, and one of the best things you can grow in there is Pak Choy, and the reason for that is it is a fantastic user of space. And that's because when we sow this Pak Choy, we're going to sow it in drills about 20 centimetres apart, and we can sow it quite thickly because after 30 days we'll be able to use those thinnings at about 7 centimetres apart, and we'll actually then have gaps, and those gaps will mature into semi-mature Pak Choy, which will be about 20 centimetres apart, and we thin those out to leave about 20 to 25 centimetres between our final Pak Choy, which can mature between 60 and 75 days. So it's a really quick crop, it's a quick return for space in our bed. The easiest way to sow it is to take a pointed trowel and make some drills across your bed, and they want to be about 9 centimetres apart. And a tip is measure how long your trowel is, because it lets you know roughly how far apart those drills need to be. Once you've made the drills, you then water along each drill. That's because the major failure of seedlings is running out of moisture. So make sure the drill itself is well watered before sowing. This bed had a green manure growing in it over the winter, and it doesn't need any fertiliser to grow this Pak Choy. This is from Seeds of Italy. There are lots of different varieties of Pak Choy, as you can imagine. It's one of the world's most grown crops. And you can sow it in the UK or the Northern Hemisphere anytime really between April and July. So you can get quite late crops with it. And it's quite big seed, although having said that, probably still wise to wear your glasses if you're as old as me. And we just come along trying to get these seeds about every 2 or 3 centimetres. If they get closer than that, you'll just have to thin them. But as we've said, the joy of this is that those thinnings are incredibly useful. Once the seeds are in, just use the back of your hand to go across. I don't know whether you can focus in on my hand or not, but what we have here is one of those tiny yellow slugs. These normally are underground, and these are the ones that do about 90% of the damage in your bed. Best thing to do, flick it off. The robins will soon take care of that. So just use the hand, cover up this drill, make sure that you've labelled it, then water the whole thing in again. As it starts to grow, remember to weed between the drills. Use a hand weeder and weed before you think you see seedlings. With things like lettuce, Pak Choy, ones like that, weeds really will take over and dominate and take available nutrients from them. So it's much better to weed often or hoe often, really before you see the weeds growing. And that's it. We now just leave that. 30 days we'll be taking the thinnings out. We'll probably come back and see that. And after 75 days we'll have big luscious Pak Choy, which you can eat raw or you can stir fry. Thanks a lot for watching here at Learn How to Garden.